Hello, 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 everybody. So good to see you. I missed everyone. This is Pop Culture Curator here, and we are back for another review of Star Trek The Animated Series. We are on the penultimate, second to last episode entitled Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth. And for me, it's a little melancholy. I'm going to miss it when it's gone. They just didn't seem to make enough episodes. So, I mean, it's almost like I feel like reviewing it a second time, but I don't think I can top the wonderful job that we did with the first 20 episodes. Gorilla's Random Thoughts, how are you doing there?
Well, I got a promotion. I,
Congratulations! I'm so glad to hear that.
yeah,
Huzzah.
I got promoted from an asshole to a fucking asshole.
Hooray!
Oh, well, I'm not happy to hear that.
Well, no,
Goody.
well, for the last
What does that
for,
mean?
for the last 4 days there, I've been bitching about all the snow we got, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, Thursday there, I just shoveled out what I needed to get my car out and all that. I was going to get the sidewalk on Saturday there. Well, Saturday morning there, I was sleeping in there. I get woken up to a person pounding on my door there. So I go out, answer the door, and she goes, it'd be really considerate to have your sidewalk shoveled. You're supposed to have it shoveled within 24 hours after the snow event ended and all that.
That's like living in California. I'm surprised you got that action out there.
Just wait. I didn't even recognize this lady, so I went and got my shoes on, got my coat on there. I went out and I grabbed a shovel. Then I handed it to her and goes, if it's really bothering you that bad, start shoveling.
No, that's a very intrusive and rude. And that's like somebody. You should have asked her. Are you from California? Because you actually met a Karen up front, face to face there, Gorilla.
Well, don't. I'm not going to sit there and shovel after I've already worked 9 hours a day. And then I still got to do my stuff I got to do at home here.
Don't let her worry. Don't let her worry.
Yeah.
You. Not worth it, right? Some people are just miserable. There's nothing you can do about that. Jill, how are you doing tonight? I missed you. It's so good to see you again.
It appears that she happens to be away from the control panel.
Yeah, I just noticed. Yes. So, Scotty, how are you doing?
Doing tickety boo, sir. Speaking of snow, we've been, we're being pummeled with the white stuff over here as well.
Oh, wow. We're being hit with torrential rains and cold here.
All right. Well, at least we can trust that Jill being in Texas is toasty.
Right. Well, right. And hopefully they don't lose any power or anything. It seems that everybody's having weather conditions except for Texas, I guess. I hadn't really heard any extremes coming out of there. And I wanted to say hello to everybody in the chat. It's so good to see you. I missed you all. I'm excited. The first person to arrive here was Chris Longfellow. So good to see you, Chris.
Hey, Meringue.
And, oh, there we are. There's Meringue, a.k.a. Lemon Pie, saying good evening. Good to see you, Lemon Pie.
Lemon. Hey, Herc.
Herc 130 says, good evening at Lemon Pie. Lemon Pie says, Herc. Herc 130 says, salute. GRT, PCC, Scotty, and Jill. I forgot to mention that last night on Captain Infinity's channel, when they had that rural purge in 1972, Hee Haw was the only show that survived because it was in syndication. So when all those network shows, when they were all canceled, Hee Haw was the only one that survived and lasted into the late 80s, actually. And I forgot to mention that. And
well, Hee Haw was more of a variety show, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Almost like Carol Burnett sort of thing, but country western style flavored. Yeah, but I forgot that it was all those that we mentioned last night: Beverly Hillbillies, Green Acres, Petticoat Junction, all that stuff was CBS, including Hee Haw. But Hee Haw just went straight to syndication, which saved it. The rest of the show just abruptly ended. Huh. And that's when Buddy Epson obviously went straight to doing Barnaby Jones. Herc 130. Cool. Yeah, and I think William Shatner was in the first episode. I need to look it up. Herc 130 says, tickety boo. Scogly, welcome, Scogly. It's a toasty -3 in Calgary. Well, get your butt out there and start shoveling, Scogly. Herc 130 says, hey, Scogly. Lemon Pie says, hail PCC, Scotty, Gorilla, and Jill. Good to see you, Lemon Pie.
And hail, everybody.
Yeah, it's great to have you guys here. If you haven't already, please vote. I've got a couple. Well, I think I've already decided for our horror stream because it looks like it's pretty much overwhelming that we're going to be doing Creep Show tomorrow night. So if you're a fan of the Creep Show movie from 1982, please join us at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I think we're going to have a blast. Jill, are you back?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
How are you doing? We've all said how we're doing today. How are you doing, Jill? I know you're away for a moment.
Well, wonderful. I watched this episode today, and
And what do you think about it? Well, I know you want to probably save your review for the end, but
well, I really loved Who Mourns for Adonis.
Right. Well, I will say offhand, I do like this episode. I know Gorilla may not be happy about it, but I did like it.
Well, what you got the damn thing remind you of a Rainbow Mafia there, and hey, tell me, did Spock look a lot more yellow in this episode than any than other episodes?
Oh, maybe he had jaundice. We can look it up. I didn't actually notice, but I'll look when we go through the slides tonight.
He's been smoking too much.
Yeah,
smoking too much.
Yeah, now for probably the next 24 hours, all I'm gonna be hearing is, "I'm cuckoo for Coco Con." Thank you. Total left. Just because that's stuck in my head. It's total left.
Total left just for that. Go ahead, Jill.
Well, some people do get tired of the godlike alien trope, but I like it.
Yeah, I did run a course in Star Trek, obviously, many times.
It wasn't the godlike the trope there. It was the what I had to hear there was the "I'm Coco for Cuckoo Con."
Where'd you hear that from?
Where do you think? Hi. Oh, he's not even over there.
That's quite all right. I hope your son's enjoying the show.
Oh, I said he did, but he fell asleep.
Oh, well, maybe he'll rewatch it one of the days and make it all the way to the end. Kids these days don't seem to have the attention span that we used to when we were younger, right?
Well, in all fairness there, in your day, you only had like 3 channels.
I know, but I still stayed awake during all the shows. I can't think of it. I ever falling asleep during a TOS episode now that I think about it.
Well, also, what time did you watch them?
6 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I came home, as soon as I got home from school, we had to run home. This one, obviously, the animated series, it was Saturday mornings when we saw them, but probably eating Cocoa Puffs when we were watching it. And Lemon Pie says, I won't say what the temp is here, or you will hate me. Ooh, Lemon Pie sounds nice. I got to say, this is a comforting quartet of voices. Well, thank you, Scogli. I appreciate that.
Well, Lemon, that sounds like Everybody Hates Florida temp right there.
Well, I hear it's nice. It's just that I guess it's a matter of getting used to the humidity. And hello, Scogli. Or Lemon Pie says, hello, Scogli. Cheers. Herc 130 says, Dr. Evil's voice. Too many Cuban cigars will make you yellow. Not really. I can't back that up. I'm not sure who Dr. Evil is.
Dr. Evil from Austin Powers?
Oh, not an Austin Powers fan. Yeah, sorry.
All right.
Captain, and you know what's weird is I still remember seeing the very first trailer of the very first movie when he hopped in his car at Vasquez Rocks. And I thought, wow, I'm so excited. The 60s vibe, the birth control glasses, everything. I thought it was going to be great. And then the movie, I didn't. Everything just fired on the wrong cylinders for me for some reason. It just didn't. I don't know.
Wow.
It reminded me of Mel Brooks. It was somebody who's not funny trying to be funny. It's hard to explain.
Is that how you refer to Mel Brooks?
Yeah, he's a funny writer, but not a funny actor. But that's
different strokes to move the world, I suppose.
I used to say that Austin Powers was the only James Bond I knew, but I finally saw Dr. No last week.
Nice.
Well, Jill, I highly recommend if you want a really good comedic secret agent, the episode or the series Get Smart is far superior. And let's see here. I will try to mention everybody in the chat as much as I can. I don't usually try not to skip anybody over. If I do, please yell at me. And Captain Finity has his token. Where's Chekhov?
Where's Chekhov?
And for the last Captain Finity, you are a stickler for specificity. There is no H in Pavel Chekhov's name. So Chekhov was never in Star Trek if there is an H in it.
Nice one.
Lemon Pie says, I am in Texas, Gorilla. All right. So Lemon Pie's in the same place as Jill. And
The
then the Pie
stars.
says, hello, Captain. Matt G says, Jill.
Hey, Matt.
Matt
And
G.
I'm glad Stream Elements is here. I'm going to put it through its run. Practice to make sure it's going to work tonight. Captain Infinity says, Lemon. Captain Infinity says, oh, Pops hates Brooks. No, like I said, I like his writing. It's his acting. I'm not a fan of his acting. He hams it up too much. And it takes me out of the movie. Whenever he's in a movie, it takes me out. I don't know why. But I like his directing style and I like his writing. And I used to watch the Show of Shows that him and Woody Allen used to work on. And that was hilarious. Type Infinity says, and Crystal. And Herc130 says, awfully quick draw with the lemon there, Captain Infinity. LOL. And Lemon Pie says, it's on a bookcase. Okay, so I think we're all ready to go. Does anybody have anything to say or add before we get started?
Captain Finity, not Anton Chekhov, Pavel Chekhov. Oh my heavens!
Yeah, Anton Chekhov's not in space that we know of, right?
Not yet, and that one has an H.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Herc130 is it Texan too, says Herc130. Well, so there's three of you guys. I need to move to Texas. If you guys would just do me a favor, clear out the California people, and I'll be right there. And Skogly says, cheers to, I believe that's Captain. And Captain Infinity says, oh, so right. The first spelling, Anton Check. I've yet tis, Captain.
Perhaps
Maggie says, LOL. Take it away, Jill, when you're ready.
Sure. How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth first aired on October 5th, 1974. And so I like when Earth mythology is looked at through the lens of what it'd be like if they were extraterrestrials, because that's kind of why I like Stargate.
Well, this is almost the same, similar to the same plot as the motion picture with Beecher, right?
A little bit.
I was thinking more like Star Trek 4 with the probe coming in.
That too, yes. Because basically in all of them, it was a device from Earth's past that was coming back to check on it and didn't like what it found.
Yeah, it's just, and of course also the godlike alien trope from Who Mourns for Adonis and also Charlie X and maybe even Trelane.
Oh, yes.
So this episode was directed by Bill Reed and written by Russell Bates and David Wise, rather. And this episode won an Emmy. The animated series earned Star Trek its first Emmy Award for Outstanding Children's Program of the 1974 to 75 season. Oh, this is from the official animated series book.
Gotcha.
How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth episode submitted, it remained the franchise's lone non-technical or production Emmy. It just blows my mind, Wise said of the episode securing the award. Bates and Wise also won the 1975 Peabody Award for the episode.
Oh, very good. And deservedly so, I have to say.
Yeah.
And by the way, he was still in his teens when he co-wrote this episode.
Yeah, and he had experience with animation. Because Russell felt that he needed someone with animation experience to help him write the script. So that's why he worked with David Wise. And David Wise also helped Russell stay focused on the Native American plotline, because Russell kept trying to write a story about parasites, and that's what failed plot that he wrote that Dorothy Fontana didn't want. So I guess she worked on this episode. So she actually had input here. So actually, Russell, because of the parasite thing, kind of reminds me of Brad and Braga, because Braga really loved parasites too.
Oh, yeah. And also, Wise says that this really, not only launched his career, but really kickstarted because of the award. So that's great for him that it helped.
Yeah, that's a good early start there.
Yeah.
I also So actually, the reason why it seems so much like Who Mourns for Adonis is because Russell intentionally made this episode like that one on purpose as a tribute to Gene Kuhn, who had died the previous year.
Oh,
Oh, rest in peace, Gene. 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Gene Kuhn was a major powerhouse on TOS. He really helped shape that series. He came up with a lot of the original ideas.
Yeah.
always sometimes referred to as the unsung Gene of Star Trek.
Yep.
Although he has been getting a lot of his due and credit in more recent years.
Right, slowly more truth is starting to come out, which is a good thing. Those people deserve some credit.
So who wants to read the first captain's log?
Go ahead, Scotty. I'm trying to get caught up here in the chat.
For sure. Captain's
Thank you.
log. Stardate 6063.4. The Enterprise is tracing the origin of a mysterious alien probe. It approached the Federation homeworlds, made a scan of Earth's system, and then signaled outward into space. Before it could be intercepted, the probe self-destructed. We are following a trail of disrupted matter left by the probe's highly advanced propulsion system. Thus far, the trail has not intercepted any inhabited star system.
Perfect.
Hey, it's Walking Bear.
Now that picture, is that David Wise?
I think that's Lieutenant
Let me
Walking
zoom
Bear.
in. There was a
Oh,
it was voiced by Jimmy Doohan. Oh yeah, that is David Wise getting his Emmy. That's an Emmy award in his hand. Very cool. All right. I'm glad they had a picture in the book. Dennis Chekhov. He's awesome, says Matt G. LOL.
Dennis.
Captain Infinity, I use Anton and Paul synonymously. They're synonymous. Captain Infinity says, like pledge and donate, right? And mandatory. Herc 130 says, and hello to Matt G. Or hello. Hello, says Matt G. Lemon Pie says, just like parallel universe and time travel.
Synonymous.
Okay, Jill, I'm ready.
So replacing Sulu at the helm is Ensign Walking Bear. And pretty convenient given the theme of the episode, but I do like him. And we see a fuzzy golden glow on the screen. And they encounter a strange spacecraft, which is the same one that sent out the probe from the captain's log we just heard. It has them trapped in a globular energy field made of crystalline ceramic. All right, I'll just take their word for it.
I thought the ship was made of crystalline ceramic.
Oh, maybe the ship is made of crystalline ceramic. Well, what is this made out of?
I remember the globular, but I can't remember what Spock said that the mate was made up of.
It says it's flexible enough to absorb any force. Okay, so maybe the ship is ceramic.
I
got them mixed up.
That ship to, oh hell.
Why is that?
Well, they hit it at warp. They're going faster than the speed of light, then all of a sudden they hit that thing.
Well, they do explain that, if I remember correctly, that because they hit the bubble, that's why the ship wasn't damaged, I think.
Yes, they applied both push and pull force at the same time because it could only be flexible in one direction.
Which
that's the
I'll
solution.
mention later. That's the solution. Yeah,
that's Spock's solution. It takes the whole episode, but he figures it out. Ensign Walking Bear reports the shield and engines are not effective defense, so Kirk goes for the offense, but the phasers can't get through the globe. So, about this ship. At first, this ship was just going to straight up look like the god alien, but Gene Roddenberry's main note for this episode was that he didn't like this. And so Russell Bates said, I really wanted that dragon ship. So we got around it by giving Kukul
Khan.
Or Kukla Khan. You can use either.
Oh, right, because Shatner says it that way.
The spelling is Kukulcan, but I think it was pronounced differently in the episode.
Kukul Khan. It by giving us it is a sophisticated but artfully designed ship. While it held the Enterprise captive, an electronic image of Kukul Khan himself was projected over the ship. This gained approval.
I like that.
Yes. And I
It's
do
almost-
like Gene Roddenberry's notes for that. So.
Yep,
almost
and
what?
I think maybe it was an improvement doing that because it's almost like maybe that was their shield.
Oh yeah, nice idea.
Yeah.
The ship continues its probe it's been doing, and now it looks like a brightly colored winged feathered serpent. I guess dragon.
The dragon's not a serpent, though.
It's a lizard, isn't it? Flying lizard? No,
Yeah, but a serpent's a snake.
which is a well, it could be.
Well, look at his head. Kind of looks like a
Oh man,
Ensign.
someone just punctured the
Yeah.
force globe.
Hey, how's your sheetrock there?
I do like the design. It does look like something that the Aztecs would have came up with.
I don't know. I thought it looked kind of stupid, but that's my opinion.
So Ensign Walking Bear recognizes it as Kukulkan. Russell Bates says about coming up with this mythological creature. He says, as we worked, I realized that the same legends are more well known as being the winged dragon-like beings of the Aztecs, Toltecs, and the Mayans. He elaborated, there were 3 likely candidates. Baricoca of the Peruvian Incas. Say this one for me.
Quetzalcoatl?
Of the Toltecs and the Aztecs, and Kukulkan of the Mayans. We picked the latter because Kukulkan had that hard K ring to it, and my tribe, the Kiowas, were discovered to be related to the Mayas. So that's from Russell Bates. And this knowledge may have saved the ship because Kukulkan responds. Okay, so the knowledge of what I said before, the globe. He says, Ensign Walking Bear, knowing who he is, Kukulkan says, I was angered because I believed you had forgotten me, but one in your midst knows my name. You will be given one chance to succeed where your ancestors failed. Fail me again, and all of your kind shall perish. And actually, I have to go for like a little bit, so
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you with this dialogue for someone to read, and I'll be right back.
Go for it. And I'll skip. How about you, Gorilla? Would you like to read it
Oh,
in the private chat?
The second one?
Yep. Is it the last? Yeah, the second one. Or the last one? Yeah.
I am a Comanche, Captain. I've studied the histories of many ancient Earth peoples, especially my own. That ship out there bears a strong resemblance to the god of Mayan and Aztec legends, Koku for Kukulkan.
That'll do. Thank you.
Hey, if it's gonna be stuck in my head for a week, it's gonna be stuck in your head for a week.
Yeah, it is now. Thanks to you. I appreciate that. I need to go buy me some Cocoa Puffs just to make sure. And Lemon Pie says, just like parallel universe and time travel. And Lemon Pie says, hi, Matchy. Captain Infinity, ha, Lemon. You know very well that's a Venn diagram. Captain Infinity says, like Bob Kane created like 20% of Batman. Captain Infinity says, and Xanadu did. Sean Carter, hello, Sean Carter. Hey, all. What a surprise. I totally forgot about the stream. Happy Monday. Well, Sean, thank you for joining us. Glad you can make it. Lemon Pie says, hey, Sean. Captain Infinity says, I use snake and serpent synonymously. They're synonymous.
Well, and just to back up both Finity and Gorilla, yeah, it's the reason that a serpent is called a serpent is because it is a crawling creature as opposed to having legs.
Okay, and Jill, are you back? Are you doing slides?
Yes.
Okay.
Spock confirms this, saying Kukulkan would visit from the skies, bringing knowledge. And then McCoy and Scotty and Captain Kirk and Ensign Walking Bear and Captain Kirk are all taken to Kukulkan ship.
Oh my. Wrong character. Sorry.
Okay, and so
I guess
we
that's
get,
supposed to be Spock's look of surprise.
yes, that is as surprised as Spock will ever look.
The women.
Okay,
No.
who wants to read the next captain's log? This is the last one.
Oh, it's the last one? Okay.
Yeah,
I guess
it's read by
it.
Spock. It's read by Spock this time.
Captain's log. Start date 606.3.5. First Officer Spock in temporary command. The Enterprise is a captive of an alien life form calling itself Kukulkan. Captain Kirk and 3 other officers had vanished. They most likely were transported by Kukulkan to his ship.
Yeah, so that's it. That's it. McCoy's got his medical kit.
Not
And
looking
the
happy.
room? Yeah. The room turns into a jungle and then a city with a South American pyramid in the middle. Kukulkan will not talk to the crew unless they figure out his riddle or what they're supposed to be doing with the city.
What I really liked about this episode too is it fully took advantage of being animated because there's so much that there's no way they could have filmed this on a TOS episode because of the scope.
Yeah, that's why Robert Weiss worked on this episode.
David Wise.
David Wise.
Close.
Yes, that's right.
Robert Wise was director of the motion picture.
I don't know why I was thinking. Yeah, that's what
okay.
mixed me up.
It's okay.
So in this episode, Uhura is bringing up the concern for the crew and to the situation since McCoy, who usually does something like that, is trapped on the ship. But Spock returns her back to her duties, and she does. He also informs her that breaking free is their first goal. And this was actually a good display of the command differences between Kirk and Spock. And it turns out that the writers intended to give Uhura a zinger to get back to Spock, but they couldn't figure out a good line, so they didn't. But they put in a slug line in case they could come up with something good. But the slug line accidentally made it into the script, and it was pointy-eared fool. But Nichelle Nichols knew her character too well and said, "Am I really supposed to say that?" And yeah, no, she wasn't. So Kirk is talking about how these obelisks remind him of ancient Egyptians, but Anson Walking Bear says these don't look Egyptian. And then he gives more information about Kukulkan. Before he left, Kukulkan gave the Mayas a remarkably accurate calendar. He told them to build the city according to its cycles. On the date the city was finished, Kukulkan was supposed to return. The Mayas built their city and waited. Kukulkan never appeared. And Kirk says that Kukulkan must have visited basically all the cultures of the world, or lots of cultures of the world, but each culture only had a piece of that knowledge to build their culture. And so as a result, none of them got it right. I like this idea because it doesn't insinuate any lack of intelligence of any of these people who got the knowledge. It just says that everybody got different pieces to the puzzle, and that's why it didn't work.
Well, what I was thinking is the reason why they were all given pieces is I was thinking Kukulkan had been hoping that they would all one day unite and bring the pieces together.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that too. So, but because neither David Wise nor Russell Bates were at William Shatner's recording session, I guess that's why Shatner gets the mispronunciation wrong. And
right.
Shatner,
not the first time.
Kukulkan instead of Kukulkan.
Well, he's thinking of Kukla Fran and Ollie as an old puppet act.
Oh, well, there you go. He had good reasoning. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So Kirk heads up the steps of the pyramid. Ensign Walking Bear notices that there are 4 towers. And there's this table here with the Kukulkan on it, set at a 45-degree angle to the square of the tower. And the crew discovers turning the heads of the serpents on the ground focuses the sun's rays onto the top of the pyramid. And so when all of them are activated, Kirk
Right.
says
Captain Kirk notices and then yells at them to all turn the heads. To turn all the heads.
Yes. This is a very simple to explain episode. The whole thing is an energy amplification system. This is Ku Klux Klan's.
Wow.
See, it's exciting when they turn the
Someone declared
serpent's head.
war. Yeah. Someone's really happy.
Yeah, this is Ku Klux Klan's signaling device. That's what Kirk says. At this, Ku Klux Klan returns as a bright blue and red winged serpent by the temple.
Crazy.
Insanity. And so, yeah, the light is concentrated into the bottom, and then the power of all three of the lights does summon the great Ku Klux Klan.
And who says, about time. Just kidding.
And I really like the character, like the design, and whether or not this is original Aztec or Mayan or what have you. It looks cool. It's visually dynamic. Like that's that's something you would never be able to get in the original series, and I appreciate that they got to be able to do it in the animated.
I agree. I love it. I was thinking it'd be a great kite if there's somebody to make that into a kite.
I wonder if there's a hot toy. There's got to be someone out there who has a toy of Ku Klux Klan.
I'm pretty sure they made one.
It's just fun to say too, but there probably is. And if there isn't one from the show, then there's probably one from people who celebrate this particular culture.
Well, these days with 3D printers, you think they can make anything, right?
That's true.
Yeah, someone just needs to design it. You're talking about this?
Yeah.
Well, Ku Klux Klan expects to be fought with weapons.
Cuckoo clock.
I said
Coco
it too
the
fast.
clown. Yeah.
Fun.
Ku Klux Klan expects to be fought with weapons and doesn't understand that Starfleet only uses them in self-defense, as they did earlier when he fired on the Enterprise.
Let me see.
So Ku Klux Klan thinks he owns them and can do what he wants with them. And then he takes them all to a zoo, his laboratory zoo. And all these animals are in these small cages where Ku Klux Klan says they're happy, but these cages are way too small for these animals to live healthy, to be healthy. It's insane.
Or you would think, even though in their mind they may think they're in their natural habitat, you think they would need physical exercise.
Yeah, exactly. They're being stored like in the Matrix, but without the goo and stuff.
When you live in the pod and eat the bugs, you don't need exercise.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Sounds like Karoga.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it would sustain life. Ku Klux Klan says, what you cannot see is that each of them mentally is in its own natural environment. They eat, breathe, and live in worlds created by my machinery, worlds only they can see. They do not know they are in cages.
So we have something sort of like the menagerie. We have the cage.
Yeah, actually, I didn't go back, but there's supposed to be tribbles and a Horda here, but I didn't get a picture of them.
Oh, they're I didn't even notice.
Neither did I.
No, and I didn't. I meant to go back to go find the Horda because I love Hordas, and I didn't see it.
Yeah, you think somebody, anybody in the chat, if you've spotted it, please let us know.
Ku Klux Klan talks about how he lost touch with the others like him due to the destruction of his race. He collects these creatures for companionship. He noticed that humanity is savage and warlike, so he wanted to help. And he wanted to...
Wait a second. If he's supposed to be the one and only God there, how's there others of him?
Well, because he's not a god.
He claims to be. He claims to be their God.
Yeah, but he's not a god. He's an alien.
I'm pointing out inconsistency what he's saying.
Well, yeah, it's totally inconsistent. Yes, absolutely. He's not a god at all. he wanted to come back, but he didn't because he was never summoned. And so that's the reason. And yeah, so the book says the menagerie too.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, it says it was supposed to be a reflection of him feeling like his superiority enables him to play God. Wise explains about Kukulkan's collection. He says, each of them is content in the world I give them, showing he actually thinks he's a god, and that's the problem. Tribbles, a baby horda, and all types of alien creatures make up Kukulkan's companions, although its definition of companion can be up for debate.
Maybe it's that first establishing white shot. I need to go back and then really get a look at that one.
Yeah, probably. One of the creatures was actually based on Wise's pet, the Capelian power cat. The power cat was my cat, Wise expounded. I had a cat named Nick. He was an orange, tiger-striped cat and was the surliest, meanest cat, except he wasn't. Underneath, he was a huge ball of mush.
And I wanted to add the plot point about Kukulkan actually being an alien life form was inspired by the book Chariots of the Gods, especially claims like Indian sites in Peru having actually been created by aliens as methods of communication. So it was similar. Remember, they found ancient inscriptions that they think were made by the natives who they think, I'm not saying this is true, but they think that we were visited by aliens and the natives took it as gods. So I'm guessing that they're saying that inspired this episode partially.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that
go
makes
ahead,
sense.
Jill.
No, that sounds right. He also points out that he has one of the most dangerous animals. So that was the Capelian power cat. And nobody else can keep these cats in captivity, says McCoy, because they'll throw a charge of 2,000 volts. And actually about this, the book says that the Capelian power cat was noted as coming from the planet Capelia 4, which had appeared in the TOS episode Friday's Child. The next episode would see Sarah April bring a Capella 4 flower on board the Enterprise. All right, Sarah April, Robert April's wife.
And I do have to add, it's not volts that'll kill you, it's amps.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how Kirk survived the jolt, if anybody's wondering.
Cool.
Oh, now you're taking away my bitching point.
Oh, I'm sorry. I popped your balloon, Gorilla.
Thank you.
Right, but ask any electrician and they'll tell you volts. It's not the volts that'll kill you. It's the amps.
Mm-hmm. Kukulkan sees humans as children. He need to be shown how to live. And Kirk responds, but if children are made totally dependent on their teachers, they will never be anything but children. And back on the Enterprise, Spock has figured out how to escape. He says, of course, the elasticity of the force field can respond in only one direction at a time. All hands to battle stations. Full impulse power. Helmsman. Tractor beam on full power. Warp engines on standby. Mr. Eric's prepared to compensate for warp catapult effect. When we break free, we will be thrown approximately 5.698 light years.
Which is quite far.
Mm-hmm. And so he talks about how the force globe is flexible in only one direction per unit of time. So like Scotty was saying before, they're going to push and pull at the same time so that it becomes rigid enough for warp power to break the globe. And that works. So they do that.
Which is great.
Yeah.
There it is.
Crazy. It's happening.
Zoom. That's exactly how it sounds in the show, everybody. Just making sure.
That's an actual recording of the sound effects.
Yes, that was an audio clip.
I'm going to cover catch up really quick on the chats, Jill. Sorry.
No
Sean
problem.
Carter says, Sean Carter, I'm currently editing my first video. It'll be posted hopefully before the stream ends. Well, congratulations, Sean Carter. I will be there to
Awesome.
look at it. Yeah, very cool. Sean Carter says hi, Lemon Pie. Lemon Pie says
Second.
Coco Con.
Coco Con.
Edge
The
of Time,
chocolate.
hail, good to see you, Edge of Time. Turn my serpent BB.
Hey,
Dr.
Edge of
Divinity
Time.
says, I use Aztec and Mayan synonymously. They're synonymous. Lemon Pie, what's Mayan is yours.
What's a Mayan yours?
And Edge of Time says pet hoarder. There we go. Okay.
Check out the tail on that.
And here's where we get our action scene.
Yeah, back at the laboratory zoo, Kukulkan is swooping and diving on the men, and they're dodging behind display cases.
No,
Kukulkan,
it's the sound
It's
of the
okay.
menagerie.
It's okay, Mommy. It's normal. It's all right.
Kukulkan realizes that Spock has escaped. But as a distraction, Kirk and McCoy, they decide to pull the cables on the power cap. Oh, wait a minute. No.
No, I'm looking too. I'm looking too to see if there's a Horta or some triples kicking.
Yeah, no, I didn't see him in my pictures, so I must have missed him. So the cat wakes up, generates a charge, and which blows the case apart. And then he goes rampaging around, smashing the other cages and freeing the other animals.
As you do.
Yeah. And the Enterprise fires on the Kukulkan ship, which disables the power source. So then the cat it advances on this I guess Kukulkan. I don't know. It does. But Kirk manages to jab in the hypo spray into the cat. And so then the cat
Hey,
goes from
look.
being
No Starfleet insignia on Kirk's uniform.
oh yeah.
Hey,
Just
he should have gotten shocked to hell and thrown back 30 feet just for getting anywhere close. And that's another bone I had to pick. This thing's predator is so dangerous. It should have sensed Kirk coming at him and sent out a bolt to throw his ass back at least 30 feet. Let alone touching the thing and not getting shocked except for a tiny little singe.
Well, he does say that it was at the tail end of his last jolt.
Yeah, he does get thrown back.
He does.
Yeah, but he still shouldn't have even been able to get that close to it.
Well, we know that the coat of the cat is covered with electricity, but we don't know if the cat can actually shoot it out like a beam. And in reality, too, I do have to speak up as far as like with electricity. If you come into contact with high voltage, you're going to be stuck to it like a magnet. And if people try to pull you off, they will be electrocuted as well. So it is not an easy task to come to contact with something. The only way I would say it's physically possible is if that hypo was not able to, it was grounded somehow and not able to, the electricity was not able to transfer to the hypo, and Kirk didn't come into contact directly with the fur itself.
Yeah. You're bringing back a lot of memories with electric fences there.
Oh, please tell me you didn't pee on an electric fence.
Oh, that's one story, but that's a different song.
That's for another time.
I'm sure it was a ritual for every boy probably at some point, right? Hey, no, don't tell him. Yeah, it's just fine. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Go ahead and do it.
That was I did not listen to my grandma.
Oh, well, then always listen to grandma, right? Now you know, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's not.
I just went off into the grass to take a piss, and it happened to be right next to the electric fence there. But apparently I didn't. Apparently I wasn't watching where I was taking the piss at. But no, yeah. If you grab someone there, then grab the electric fence, you won't get shocked. It's the person at the end gets the shock.
Right. Well, the electricity transfers, and you're being grounded.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun to do to people.
Oh.
Well, he's not here, but PvP was telling me he was electrocuted by a fence also when he was a kid that he didn't realize was charged because the neighbors didn't tell them that they did this for their cattle.
Also, you pissed on one too?
I don't know.
I was going to say with my hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I touched it, but I did not. Yeah, I did not.
I did not urinate on an electric fence, and I always thought, trees safe, fences not.
Right. I thought it was interesting here how they hid Kurt's face.
You know, it's weird. You mentioned it, pop culture. Is that like I did notice this episode more than most is that when people are having their dialogue, their mouth is not either not on camera or obscured or away or I found it was more noticeable in this episode after watching 20 and getting to the 21st. I'm like, wow, huh.
You know, I thought about that too, and I was thinking, you know, it's funny. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I was thinking about that as well. And I was thinking maybe because the script was still going through rewrites as they were doing the animation.
I
So
was
they
honestly
really-
thinking, oh,
Go ahead.
go ahead. No.
Well,
after you.
I was thinking maybe that's why they didn't show as much lip syncing. Because usually the actors will say the lines and then the animators will do the ellipse and the lip syncing over the sound of the voices.
Well, and just based on the if there are sort of, I don't want to say cost cutting because it sounds like such an undermining thing, but just in terms of keeping costs low, the less you have to animate, the less it costs, and the faster you can get it done. And so I was wondering if it was a matter throughout the entire series where it was just like, yeah, we don't really have to animate the lip sync. We don't have to worry about that aspect of it, and just have people looking away or people having like. There's a lot. I've always noticed the extreme close-ups, but in this one particularly, people are like looking away from the camera, or they're covering up their mouths, or they're
Right.
again.
That was a tactic Filmation used a lot too, was covering up their mouths with their hands, like when
Mhm.
Spock was shocked earlier, for example. And Kurt does it a lot too. And the animators did say that was sometimes when they were running out of time they would do that. So that's another factor too, is they may have just been running out of time, or maybe something along those lines. It could have been out of convenience.
Yes. I'm glad that the chat is engaging in the don't pee on the electric fence.
I know you of course this topic's going to come up now that we brought it up.
Now that
the
it's
fence
here,
post,
come on.
Skogly says the fence pulses, so you grab it while it's negative and then touch somebody and ruin their day. Hold on. And Lemon Pie says, wise words of grandma. Don't pee on electric fences. Captain
Well, how
Finley,
did
welcome
Grandma
to
learn it?
electric... Right, exactly. Yeah, take her word for it, right?
Yep.
Captain Finity, welcome to electric fence urination anecdotes.
True.
So, whatever was in the hypo spray made the cat turn into a kitten.
Oh, the wee beasties just turned into a kitten.
Yeah, I think they think it would have been too. I guess I'm not sure the exact word. Maybe severe if they showed it unconscious, because I think the audience or the kids watching might think that it was dead.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they showed it instead, like they did.
I didn't think about that. That's an interesting point. Kirk says, because we have minds.
Oh, that just reminded me of something my kid told me.
Hey,
Actually, because when they first beamed down to the planet, or got beamed down to the planet there, he looked at it and goes, "Hey, that guy's wearing red. He's gonna die."
Well, now that you bring it up, Gorilla, through the course of the show so far, we haven't had any red shirts die, have we? We haven't had anybody die.
Well, not anybody. There were those enemies in. Oh wait, I still have my avatar wrong. Okay, so there were those enemies in that one episode where they had that weapon that would transfigure into different tools.
Oh, that's right. Yes, a slaver weapon.
Yeah, the slaver weapon. So the enemies died in that one.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
No, but nobody that we care about.
Yeah. No one with a name.
Right. Not with people that are not worth mentioning, right?
Okay, so Scotty, can you be Kirk and I'll be Kukulkan?
You're going to be Kukulkan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear this. All right.
All right. I want to hear your Kukulkan. All right. Because we have minds, we can't be what you wanted us to be. If we fail or succeed, it has to be of our own doing. Intelligent life is too precious a thing to be led by the nose.
But you are my children. I hope I could teach you, help you.
You did long ago when it was needed most. Our people were children then. Kukulkan, Kukulkan, Kukulkan. We've grown up now. We don't need you anymore. And then this is that's the final thing from the bridge, isn't it? When he refers to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, yeah, because I don't have a whole lot for this episode.
No, it's great. I'm practicing my Shatner. It's going great.
Yeah, great job, guys.
Yeah, you're
Now
right.
tell me,
Good,
that you
good
guys-
call.
Now that you guys seen Cuckoo for CocoCon there, does he not look like a damn rainbow there that reminds me of the damn Rainbow Mafia?
The Rainbow Mafia.
I've got to look at it. What is Rainbow Mafia? Let me see.
The SJWs there that tell you that tell you have to be part of the pride movement.
Oh,
Just in terms of like the rainbow?
they wear rainbow. I'm looking at pictures, rainbow colored outfits, I guess.
No, no, I was thinking of just those assholes that say if you don't support this group or you don't say that you have to support this group, you absolutely have to. You have to agree with everything they say, or else you are this phobic or that phobic. Those
Yeah,
people.
we're definitely out into fascism here.
I don't
Yeah.
think that Kukulkan wants to provide information and serve his children. He's not out. He doesn't want control. He wants obedience.
Yeah, it's Scotty, say it right. It's Coco for CuckooCon.
Kukulkan.
Well, Kukulkan, he's not. So at the end, Kirk says that he's not quite a god. Just an old, lonely being who wanted to help others. And Kirk does lament, however, as they often do, that they could have learned more from him, just like all the other godlike aliens. But the loss of freedom would be too high. The cost would be too high, is what they say. And I like this line from Spock when McCoy asks him, "I wouldn't suppose that Vulcan has legends like these." And Spock says, "Not legends, Doctor. Fact. Vulcan was visited by alien beings. They left much wiser."
Yeah.
I really liked it just on its own until I heard the TAS commentary that this was supposed to be a reference to humans, but Vulcans visited humans, not the other way around. So that's weird. I thought this line was actually funnier to think about, as if it were really, a more godlike alien visiting the Vulcan planet, but they ended up learning more from the Vulcans instead.
Yeah, that's what I took from it.
What is going on?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm getting a call. You guys are not going to believe this.
What?
I'm getting a call twice now. Phone number +52 667 499 8744 from Sinaloa, Mexico. I think it's Kukulkan.
It must be. It has to
Oh my
be.
god!
Somebody's
crazy.
yeah. So, yeah, because I know it's not unless it's a Canadian Spider-Man. I don't know who'd be calling me from Mexico.
Whoa,
sure it's
but
Mexico?
what if it is really the author of this episode?
Calling
What if
from
it's
Mexico,
Russell?
right? Yeah, but 3 times they've called now. It's like, okay, somebody's very persistent.
No,
Forget it,
could be
Kukulkan. I
Russell
don't take
Bates?
long distance
Maybe
calls from spam.
Hey, what'd you say that country
Oh,
code
they have
was?
the voicemail. Nice.
What's that
I
country
got a
code?
voicemail from Kukulkan.
Plus 52.
Sinaloa, Mexico.
Okay, because Mexico's country code's 52.
I'm Google
Yeah.
mapping it now.
Maybe it could be Russell Bates, and he wants to talk about his episode.
Right, Russell Bates. Yeah.
55
part of
is
Mexico.
Brazil. 55 is Brazil.
Oh, I feel honored. What do you know? And I've never gotten a call from this number before. Somebody's excited.
Yeah, it's a cartel. They want their money.
Okay, well, it's in the my check's in the mail.
There's no way that Russell would know your phone number.
Right. Captain Finity says, "Welcome to Electric Fence, your donation antidote." Oh, sorry, I said that. If it didn't pulse, says Cogley, the fence would hold you until you were dead. Yes, that is true. Lemon Pie, the topic is shocking. Erk 130 says, Boku Khan. Okay, I think we're caught up.
Bokugan.
Okay, so then we get the episode title meaning as it is a line from Shakespeare's King Lear. How sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. About this, the book says, targeting TAS's demographic, Wise saw an opportunity to place a message about Kukulkan and his relationship with humanity. It was a deliberate idea for me, Wise commented. I was 18 and getting out from under the thumb of my parents. I was going in a way that I knew my father wasn't going to approve of. He wanted me to be a starving artist, but I wanted to be a well-fed artist. The idea really reflected what I was going through at the time. Careful not to portray Kukulkan as a malevolent entity, since he was a metaphorical stand-in for parents. The writers ensured Kirk and company displayed compassion for the lonely alien. He's not a bad guy, Wise said of Kukulkan. I think it would have been horrible if they did not show empathy for him. I just think it would have been awful. Empathy is growth. It was deliberate. It was on purpose. We never thought he was a bad guy. He was a domineering parent, which is not necessarily a bad guy. And for this episode, it says, Wise reused the episode's plot for an episode of Filmation's Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle. In the episode Tarzan and the Space God,
Yes.
Kukulkan visits Earth and is revealed to be an alien.
Well, why not? If it won an award, go for it.
Yeah, no, and there was a blooper that I didn't even notice. In an overhead shot of the bridge, Uhura is shown with pale skin.
Oh.
Oh, poor Uhura. Maybe the air was
Not
getting
there.
cut off on the bridge or something.
I don't know. I didn't find it. I didn't look for it, but it's somewhere in this episode.
I do like when Kukulkan first, Gorilla, Kukul for Cocoa Puffs, shows up and Kirk says to Spock, it's like, have you ever seen anything like that, Spock? And then it's just a funny delivery from Jimmy Doohan. And it's just like, I recognize it. And it's like, you know, a keener from the background being like, pick me. I know what it is.
Well, and it's a good thing, coincidentally, they happen to have Walking Bear there on the bridge when this happened. So, you know, you got to give him credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. Yes, this episode, at least, it definitely has major Star Trek trope being being inspired by Who Mourns for Adonis. And of course, it has the trope of meeting a god like Alien, who isn't really a god. This time, he's just very lonely and kidnaps other species to fulfill his desire of companionship. And much like with Apollo, the creature learns that humanity doesn't need him anymore, and that they've grown past needing to be shown how to live. Unlike that episode, though, this godlike alien isn't as big of a jerk and doesn't require worship in order to survive. So we don't have to see him essentially die. So this plays with concepts we've already seen and will see again, but it's a subject from Star Trek that I enjoy enough, and I give it a B- because it's not so bad to earn a C for me. At least it wasn't more of a Saturday morning cartoon like some other of the previous episodes, so that was appreciated.
True.
So that's what I think on this one.
Nice.
Very cool. And I would have to say, Scotty, what do you think about this? What grade would you give it?
I'm with Jill on this one. I give it a B- just because it does sort of lift from a couple of other episodes. The thing that, and you know, see, I hit the B to B-. Maybe I'll give it a B because I do have a warm spot in my heart for this, just because of the references to Mayan and Aztec gods and the novelizations of these adventures written by Alan Dean Foster. The first one that I ever read was One of Our Planets is Missing, and then I read Sharper Than the Serpent's Tooth, and both, like, I didn't even know that these were animated series. I thought that they were just short stories, but it wasn't until years later, after reading sharper than a serpent's tooth, because I didn't know how to pronounce any of the names of the gods, and so I was like, I had no idea what's this word with the Q in it, and I was saying it like I didn't know that you said Quetzalcoatl. I didn't know. I was saying it like Shatner. I was going Kukulkan when I was reading it. Like I was a kid. I was probably about 12, 13 when I was reading these. And it wasn't until years later when I finally sort of caught part of this episode. And I was like, oh, that's how you say it. So I do have a little bit of a warm fuzzy on it, just because it is one of the first Star Trek books that I read, oddly enough. And it was a novelization of the animated series. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a B, even though it does lift from. And ultimately, I think that they did go back to lift from this episode. So I like it. I like it.
Very cool. And as a reminder, I did put a poll in the chat, everybody. If you haven't already, please vote on this episode. Tell us what you think. I'll close that poll here as soon as we're done hearing from Gorilla and share it with everyone. Gorilla, what do you think about this episode?
Well, let's see.
Yeah, start from the top, right?
Yeah, the few things that didn't make sense there. I got reminded of the Rainbow Mafia there. I'm bringing back. I got brought back electric fence references there, and now I got Cuckoo for Coco Con. You're stuck in my head. All that there. I'll give it a B plus.
Well, very kind of you. I guess maybe I should not be a holdout and go for an A. So I guess I'll say a B plus as well. That seems to be the popular opinion now.
Were you going to go for an A?
Well, I liked it as an A because, it's because I know I'm going to start missing the show. I wish I wouldn't have to, but it's the fact, like I said, it's just that I'm going to be missing it.
Yeah, no, fair enough, dude. Don't drop it because of, don't drop it. I think if you think it's an A, go for it.
Yeah, don't go with what's popular.
Yeah.
But B plus is fine. I appreciate it. I like the Mayan and the Aztec history. I'm glad that they used this episode as a submission for their Emmys, and I'm glad that it won that because I think that is beautiful. Star Trek, I think it deserved a lot more Emmys than what it got, and especially TOS. I think it should have. I think it was really an underrated show at the time. Never really got the credit that it deserved. So I'm happy, and I do agree with what you guys said too. It's a B plus.
Well,
strong B plus.
I'm curious, Jill. In the book, does it say anything about Walking Bear in terms of being the first sort of Native American or indigenous crew member on the Enterprise?
Yes, that's essentially what it says. So
that's pretty much all it says.
I don't know if it says anything more than that.
I saw that too. Yeah, this is the first Native American being represented in Trek, is what I read.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I thought that was, in terms of Star Trek's mosaic of cultures that are not coexisting, but cooperating on the Enterprise.
Yeah, definitely a strong episode. It's too bad there's only one more left after this, and I'm gonna miss it. But hey, life goes on, right?
Oh man, no! This is almost like a Pokemon thing for me. This is like gotta catch them all.
Oh, you know what? It does have something on it, but it was flipped, and I didn't want to flip it, and then I didn't add it just because the image of the picture I took of the text was flipped. But I can read it anyway.
Sure.
Sideways. It says diversity has always been a staple of Star Trek. Already featuring a command crew of men and women, Africans, Japanese, and Russians on the bridge of the Enterprise, TAS broke new ground with the inclusion of Ensign Walking Bear as helmsman, the Enterprise's first Native American crew member. Walking Bear was a character from the first TOS script. Bates wrote, "Parasites that wasn't used." Wise stated, "Russell was a Kiowa, but we wanted to go with the tribe everyone knew, so Russell made him a Comanche. He was thinking practically, since it was a children's show."
Just blazing a trail for Chakotay.
Yeah, at least Ensign Walking Bear got a tribe.
Now,
Oh, did Chakotay never get a
Professor
try?
Chakotay was on
Yeah, he did.
Voyager.
He was part of the rubber people.
Well, you know what? He probably did get a try, but the way he was portrayed was just an amalgamation of everything instead of actually focusing on.
He did have a tribe, Jill. He was part of the rubber people.
Now we're talking about a character from Voyager. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Now
welcome
I have a
back.
question. Oh, cool. I have a question. The actor who played him, was he Native American or was he Latino?
He was Latino.
That's what I thought.
He was
Yeah, I
Native
remember
American,
when I
I
first
thought.
saw Voyager, I like what? Because I like the actor. I had seen him in Eating Raoul, and he was in Night of the Comet and a few other movies.
Yeah. He's
then
awesome
I
in
saw
Night of
the-
the Comic, dude.
Yeah, and then when I saw him in Voyager, I was like, wait a minute, he's not Native American, but I get back then it was acceptable. Now it probably wouldn't be, I guess.
Well, and as you said before, Ensign Walking Bear is voiced by Jimmy Doohan. So we have two Native American characters in Star Trek, neither one of which were played by a Native American.
That's true. Does anybody know if they ever had an actual Native American in Trek?
There was that one episode where Wesley joins the Traveler to evolve to this higher plane of existence where they're relocating a Native American colony in Cardassian space. And so there were several, but they weren't crew members. They were just Federation colonists.
Okay, gotcha. I do have the results of the poll. Thank you everyone for voting. And looks like, what do you think of How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth? We got a total of 7 votes. And it looks like general consensus agrees with the panel, B+ to B-. And we've got a 14%. That's an 85% vote. And we got a 14% for A+ to A-. That's great. So there's no C's, no D's on this one.
Yeah, it was still a good episode.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's an original series episode with some special effects that wouldn't be able to be achieved if they had it going on the live action show, but definitely fits in the spirit of the original series.
It does. It does. And I think we're so blessed to get the TOS movies. I have one quick question, and I'm sorry it's not related, and we don't usually talk about the garbage truck, but the cast of TOS when they retired at Star Trek 6, at the end of Star Trek 6, would you guys say at the same age or older than the cast from TNG that's brought back now for Picard season 3?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say probably younger. I would say probably like shit. Well, yeah, no, I would still say
Patrick Stewart's much older than William Shatner was, right, at the time.
yes. That's yeah. I'm just sort of I'm trying to think of like, and I'm just going sort of the equivalent of the characters that we've seen so far. I'm pretty sure that Nichelle Nichols would have been younger than Gates McFadden.
I think they were all generally younger. Yes. I know, DeForest Kelley was obviously the oldest of them all.
Mm-hmm.
But I just have to say this, that the TOS cast knew when to bow out. I'll put it that way.
Well, I unfortunately in that regard, I think it's kind of different. Like, and the reason I say that is just that with Star Trek 6 and the original cast, they were getting long in the tooth. That was even being punchlined on popular culture, and then also they were making way for the next generation cast as well. So they were sort of passing the torch.
Well, they were, but one thing they didn't want to speak a lot about was everyone knew it was DeForest Kelley's last movie. So the question was, do they continue without him? And I think that was a resounding no, because he had just went through severe colon cancer and recovery. Oh. And that's why if you watch Star Trek 6, you can see he's very, very, very skinny.
Yes.
The costume designer said that it was like hanging the suit on a rack. So they knew that it was his last movie no matter what. So I think that was one of the deciding factors. But besides it being a stepping stone to TNG, obviously, or passing of the torch.
Well, and if it weren't for DeForest Kelley's ailing health, he would have been in Star Trek Generations. Nimoy said no, but DeForest Kelley was. If they went and said, "Do you want to do more Star Trek?" He was always yes. He never turned it down, and the only reason.
True.
the only reason that Chekhov is there instead of D. Kelly is because they couldn't get the insurance for him on set.
Yeah. So you had, and that's where you have Chekhov playing Dr. McCoy with
Essentially,
hypos and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Captivity, but Gorilla hated it for 7 specific reasons and gave it a B plus. So what's up with that, Captain Finity? I mean, a Gorilla.
Well, I'm nitpicking it the exact same way people nitpick New Trek there. But I'm not going to be the asshole and give it a lower grade because of it. I'm just making a point.
Very kind of you, sir. Captain Finity,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm making the point that everybody wants to nitpick all these little things in New Trek here. Well, I can nitpick Old Trek just the same way.
Yeah, except that this is actually a real Star Trek story with
Right, and it doesn't have so many plot holes that looks like Swiss cheese.
Right. There's a beginning, middle, and end, and there's a
bit
of a story of compassion. And
I'm not even going to get started with the. I'm going to sit in the corner and wait till you guys are done.
There's empathy. And there's a show of restraint and using violence. It works to be Star Trek.
Yes, absolutely right. It was not a dystopia, so I'm always going to appreciate and love and miss that. Captain Finity says, well, it gave Scotty the fuzzies.
It
Captain
did.
Finity says, so B plus can mean anything? I guess he means because it's such a wide range of opinions, and then we all gave it a B plus. Hello and welcome, Mad Scientist. Hail, so good to see you. Mad Scientist says, hi all. Happy Monday.
Hello, Mad
Happy
Scientist.
Monday, Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist, we're going to be wrapping it up here in a couple of minutes. But I'm glad you can join me, and I hope it's not raining. I hope you're keeping warm.
Just going to say that I think this is our fastest review of an episode yet, and we did a lot of bullshitting in the beginnings, too.
Yep, we kept it pretty tight, and I think... Well, also, I'm practicing for my horror streams, which last 4+ hours, on trying to keep it on point and not to wander off on too many tangents.
And the reason is because this episode really didn't have much that I needed to share from it. I shared everything that was important.
Yeah, and Jill she covered almost everything that I would have added to it. There's a few exceptions, but she pretty much said it all. I think almost everything's public because the fact that maybe won that award may have helped.
Yeah.
And
was there anything you would have added?
Ooh. Well, so you mentioned the part about William Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and Uhura, you mentioned that. And we covered that. And David Wise, yeah. Nope, you even covered the part about the plot being reused in Tarzan.
And just in terms of the comparison between Nichelle Nichols and Gates McFadden is 73 in Picard season 3, and Nichelle Nichols was 59 in Star Trek 6.
Yep, that's a difference. And
That's huge.
And Nichelle Nichols didn't look like plastic, and looked like a botched, plastic surgery is another difference.
Well, I don't think that's. I don't think that's fair. I think Gates McFadden actually looks fairly decent for her age.
I did.
Well, a lot of people. I've heard
see that.
A lot of people were saying that she was unrecognizable. Even Berto Prey said, Mama Prey said, "Who's that?" And he had to tell her.
That's odd. I didn't find that at all.
Scogli says, aside from Picard, I think they're about the same age.
All my complaints about what they did to Beverly's character have nothing to do with her looks.
Okay. Scogli says, cheers, Scotty.
Charles.
And is there anything that anyone you would like to add before we plug your channels, our channels?
No. I don't. I'm good.
Okay, a quick reminder, everyone. I do have a poll in the chat in my community tab. If you'd like to vote for what series you'd like to see us cover next, because we only have one more of the animated series, which is next week, and I have a poll for everyone to vote on either Batman the 66 series with Adam West or the original Lost in Space from 1965. If you haven't already voted, please do. I appreciate your vote. And definitely your diligence and your loyalty. You guys come every week, and I really appreciate it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Without the chat, without my fellow panel members, none of this would be worth it. None of it would be possible. So it means everything to me. And like I said, I'm kind of getting choked up missing. It's like I missed TAS already. I wish they'd have done 79 episodes just like TOS. So I'm kind of jealous Jill has over 2 seasons left to go. So lucky her.
Yeah, lucky me. I got a long time to go with Star Trek. Sorry.
So many good episodes in the future. It's like, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Classic after classic at this point.
and the thing is that because of the 735, and there are still gaps in my knowledge, and I want to be able to say confidently that I've seen all 735 of the Roddenberry Berman era Trek, and with so much conversation, not all of it necessarily positive in regards to the new stuff. There is still good Star Trek out there, and if you haven't seen it yet, whether it be the original series, the animated series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, or Enterprise, if you're upset about what's coming out now and you haven't seen the older stuff, there is good Star Trek still out there, and I would say seek it out.
Absolutely.
And I'm ashamed to say I have not seen all 735 like you guys, but whatever the total is of TOS and TNG, that's what I've seen.
Oh, fair enough. But no harm, no foul, nothing like that. But it's just, as a Star Trek fan and wanting to celebrate all of the stuff that is good about the Star Trek, and I agree in terms of the filth, there are some high points. Well, I wouldn't say high points. There are points that I can recognize what they're going for in terms of emulating classic Star Trek, but there's still good stuff out there that you can check out. And even if you don't want to see the entirety of Voyager, there are still some good stories in there, and it's way better than anything that's coming out now.
I put on a random Voyager episode once, and I was like, "Wait, why is everybody complaining about this series?"
Exactly. Sometimes the culmination. Sometimes the culmination of what everybody, like a lot of people, I was one of them for a long time. Voyager is crap. I never want to watch it. And then I got to see some of the newer stuff, and I was like, you know what? Voyager is looking like something I want to watch in a series. So there is good stuff out there. And if you are a fan of Star Trek and feel that the new stuff isn't doing it justice, and you haven't seen all of the 735, then you still have good Trek under the tree.
Yeah, I totally agree. And let me make sure that I got all the. Captain Finity says grading score is meaningless. Got it. And
welcome to
Scobly
the animated
says,
series
LOL.
where the points don't matter.
Right. Points are meaningless. I hope I didn't waste any of your time for those of you that voted.
Well, Captain Finity, in all fairness there, a lot of mine were small, little nitpicks there, and two of them were outside the show's control there. One of them's my damn kid's fault because that's my fault for showing it to him there, and the other one is I'm just tired of seeing rainbows everywhere, and then if you don't agree with those people who are sharing the rainbows, you get an ass chewing. But that's outside the episode's control. So I'm not going to degrade the episode for something they don't have control over. That's way before 50 years before people decide to go off the fucking rocker.
Well, I must say that we got a lot of. Yeah, we got a lot of rain.
Yeah, well, take back the rainbow then, Jill. Take back the rainbow.
I do. Anytime I have a gardening hose and I use the light refraction.
Nice.
Did you just say every time you have a gardening hoe?
Hose.
Hose. I said you had like a gardener hose or something.
And I have to say, we had a lot of rain today, which stopped around 5 p.m. our time, and I did see a big, beautiful rainbow. So the real thing is awe-inspiring, and I would never get tired of seeing something like that. And I did put links in the chat for everybody's channels that are up here on the panel. If any of you are in the chat, and if you have a wrench, please feel free to put the link to your own channels in there, because I know that a lot of you do have channels. If you don't have a wrench in order to put your own channel, please let me know. I will make you a moderator. I want everyone to promote everything they have and everything they make. That's the whole reason why we come together, is to share what we have.
But hey, Lemon, that's because I decided to shave my face.
But
Oh.
hold on.
Oh, Lemon Pie says, Gorilla, when you had your camera on, I couldn't help notice. You're not even an actual gorilla.
Oh shoot, it's 9:30. Just a sec.
You didn't see him on Gilligan's Island, right?
Oh shit.
And Mad Scientist says, "Hey, Gorilla, how's the carrot? Yeah, how's my sexy snow woman coming about, huh?"
Oh shit! I knew I was forgetting something. But if the snow's finally starting to melt, so it might actually stick together.
Okay, maybe the lady that yelled at you for your shoveling, make her build it, huh?
Yeah, I'll give her a carrot, all right.
Oh.
Too much.
Okay. Jill, would you like to tell us about your channel?
Sure, but I also want to tell everybody to please vote in that poll if you haven't. That I posted the link to it, to your poll of which series to vote next, because it is still at 50-50. It's tied.
Yeah, I really did. Sorry. Of course, now they're getting all excited. But I didn't expect the poll to be so close, so we need some tiebreakers out there, you guys, please.
Yes, and I have a science fiction channel where I review lots of science fiction movies and TV shows. I've reviewed all of the Orville. I'm working my way through UFO, and also, of course, Star Trek, the original series. Tomorrow, I will be reviewing This Side of Paradise.
Yay! I'm excited. Anytime we get location shooting, I'm happy.
Yeah, it'll be beautiful.
Yes, and thank you reminding about the poll too, Jill. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay, and all right, Jill, if you're ready, let's plug your channel and tell everybody what you have.
Oh yeah, I think I did just plug my channel. I review science fiction, Star Trek, Orville, UFO, and movies, and I plan on lots more. Who knows what I'll do next?
Yeah, it looks like a big variety there, everybody. So please do check it out. As you can see, there's plenty to keep you interested for some time.
All right, Forbidden Planet. I even did one superhero one because it was Scotty's birthday.
That would be the Superman one.
That was a great time.
I wish I could have been there. I love Superman. He's my favorite.
The movie is the same age as me.
And it's still the best superhero movie ever. It's like the textbook of how to make a good Superman movie. At least
can't argue with that. Cannot argue with that.
Well, then I saw the most important one. I'm so happy.
You did.
Right. In fact, I would dare say the only one that's necessary. Well, say Superman 2. You can stick within that franchise, 1 and 2, maybe 3. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the Snyder or the.
No,
I can't remember the guy. Brian Singer's.
But whenever you have a new franchise coming out, like a new superhero movie, they all 90% of the time, the person who is directing makes everyone sit and watch Superman the movie, just because it is such an earnest and grounded and optimistic way to look at what a superhero should be. But like, if you're a fan of, say, Spider-Man, or if you're a fan of Batman, if you have a different favorite superhero, absolutely check those out, because they're like, I would say Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorites as well. But even with the Spider-Man series, you go back and you look at the way that Richard Donner made the original Superman the movie, and that is basically, as you said, Pop Culture Curator, that is the foundation for the modern superhero film.
It is, and I do want to mention, you're right, and I'm glad if they view Superman the movie in advance. I think that's great, and I do know that Sam Raimi viewed it multiple times while making his Spider-Man. First 2 movies, and Superman the movie is my favorite superhero movie. But my favorite superhero movie is Spider-Man 2, so we agree on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with Doc Ock is it's a masterpiece. It has yet to be topped. Like Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, in my opinion, it just hasn't been topped yet. But that's my
I
opinion.
do.
So, Scotty,
do
tell us
love
about your
anime.
channel. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no apology necessary. Thank you so much. On the Phantasmagorium show, I hang out with a bunch of people and we talk about stuff that we want to talk about. Kat, my Phantasmagorium show co-host, we've gone through all of the James Bonds, all of the Quentin Tarantinos with a couple of side quests on that particular director. Right now, we're going through the Batman, selected Batman. We can't get through it all because there's so much Batman, but we've been doing the Batman movies. And tomorrow we're going to be taking a look at Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. And then on Thursday, Jill has been kind enough to have some time for me so that we can get together and discuss Bald Spaceman season 3. And we've been having just sort of a counterpoint conversation from someone who is dissatisfied and someone who is cautiously optimistic and someone who is full tilt boogie with my co-host and producer Steve. And we've been talking about Bald Spaceman season 3, and we'll be doing episode 3 on Thursday. And we cannot wait for that to be over so that Jill and I can get back to talking about the show that we started with, which was Quantum Leap. We've been doing classic Quantum Leap, and just based on the amount of caterwauling that's been going on the internet, I cannot wait to get back to the positivity and optimism of Sam Beckett and Al Calavici.
The more we don't talk about Quantum Leap, the more I want to talk about it. And actually, I got a book in the mail.
Did you?
Yeah. It doesn't have. I wanted production information on the episodes. It doesn't have that, but it has lots of cool interviews in it that I'll be reading every once in a while.
Oh, that sounds
Wicked. That's
fantastic. I
amazing.
love Quantum Leap. Yeah. What's the name of the book, Jill?
Oh, I don't know. I have it around here somewhere.
That's okay.
The
I'll
Quantum
get it from
Leap
you later.
Companion.
Yeah, I'm a big
Quantum
Quantum
Leap?
Leap fan, so yeah, that is fantastic. And Live by Ack, someone voted for Lost in Space. Captain Infinity says, can't stand the superhero genre myself. Gorilla, would you like to tell us about yourself and your channel?
Well,
both,
on
or neither.
Wednesdays we're just finishing up Stranger Things. I can't remember what we're going to next. I think Jerem said some 80s show. Maybe we'll do Freaks and Geeks one of these days. Saturdays we're watching Babylon 5. Once that's done, that might have a new time, and we're going to go to Doctor Who, starting with 1963.
Oh, that's going to take you years to cover.
I'll do 5 episodes a day.
Oh my!
Oh my God!
Wow. And then
So you're quitting your job?
Hey, yeah, how are you going to manage that?
We never work on Saturdays or Sundays.
Well, is there 5 episodes? Are they 30 minutes? Are they 60 or how?
30 minutes. 20 minute episodes. So that's why I picked 5 a day. That's 2 hours of content. That'd be 2 hours on Saturdays. Then shift everybody off to the next stream. There, we just finished up our dog month. There, I've gotten to see a few movies I've never seen before. There, except I have seen the Homeward Bound, the one, and Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco. But now we're going to the 4 Matrix movies next for March.
4?
There
You're
are
going to
4?
cover number 4?
Hey! I gotta have an excuse to drink sometime.
Makes
Well, I
sense.
guess right. That's the best excuse you can come up with would be Matrix 4.
But then I got a shit ton of shorts. Apparently, Pop says they're good there. So
yes, I recommend Gorilla's Random Thoughts shorts. Man is hilarious, and he's constantly posting quite a variety of shorts for you guys to enjoy.
yeah, there's a reason it's called Random Thoughts. Like I just posted a picture of a coin that someone paid me back, and they paid me back in fucking coins. Well, one of the coins was a fucking Island Konar with a 10 on it. I happened to look it up. It's worth 0.0067 cents or something like that.
And where's the Island Konar from?
Iceland.
Well, how did it get all the way here? Interesting.
No, wait, $1 equals like 0.00067 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, not going to do you much good here, is it?
They gave me content. They thought it was a quarter, so it cost me a quarter, but it gave me something to feel, or a film the stuff grilling there, which reminds me I have to go find the extension cord for the grill because it's grilling season. With it getting up to 34 degrees, it's now officially grilling season. I don't care if there's a 7-foot snowdrift behind the grill. That's a whole different song.
So somebody here has an electric grill.
Oh, I got a pellet grill.
Oh, okay, very
It's
cool.
a smoker. Yeah, it's a smoker.
And I obviously haven't tasted your cooking from what your videos that I've seen. It looks magnificent. It looks like you're probably a really good cook.
Well, working in a restaurant for 16 years will do that to you.
Oh, yeah, I guess that'd be a good reason. Maybe you can teach me a few pointers one of these days.
Hey, just remember, if it doesn't seem like it'll taste right, just add some seasoning and add some more and some more and some more.
That's usually to do with things with no flavor. Yes,
I learned my lesson because I tend especially when I'm cooking on the stove, I tend to forget about my food, but I've started cooking on low a lot. That way, when I'm like, oh shit, yeah, it's just about where it's supposed to be at.
Perfect. And Captivity says there's only one Matrix movie.
Yeah, he speaks for me on that one. That's all you need. But
yeah, it was the rest were cast grabs after the first one. Yeah, I do.
It looks like in the private chat, Scotty's saying he's got to go.
Okay, let's wrap this up really quick. I want to thank everybody in the chat without talking too fast. Thank you all for being here. I think I pretty much covered all chats. And like Jill said, please vote in the poll. Please check out all these wonderful people, the panelists channel when you get a chance. And hopefully I will see all of you tomorrow on Jill's TOS stream in the morning. And then hopefully my horror stream tomorrow where we'll be covering Creepshow, the movie from 1982.
Yeah. And next week we're going to meet Robert April. For
Very cool.
The last animated series episode.
Yes, absolutely right. Has he been in the new Trek yet?
Yes.
No.
Ooh.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I know. Well, somebody named Bob.
Oh, Bob. Okay. All right. And with that, and Scotty, thank you for your patience. Thank you, everybody in the chat. You're wonderful. Like I said before, this stream would be nothing without you, and you mean everything to me. And thank you, fellow panelists. You guys did a wonderful job tonight. I hope you had a good time, and I'm excited until tomorrow to see you, and we'll pick up where we left off tonight. So peace, everybody. Stay warm wherever you're at. Stay dry. There's a lot of storms going on, and take care.